Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one of the recipes that I made for my black and white Italian themed 17th birthday, and this one is the infamous Italian Focaccia. And normally you can leave it plain, you can add whatever flavorings you want to it. So the one that I made today is with herbs, and to start off, the herbs was rosemary, fresh rosemary, and sun-dried tomatoes and black olives. And the fact that I've added fresh rosemary really made the rosemary flavor shine in it, and it is so nice because it is soft, it is fluffy, it is moist, I guess, even though I don't think you can refer to bread as moist, but moist in a way. And then the saltiness from the olives, the sun-dried tomatoes, then the rosemary, and it is fairly simple to make. It does take a little time because you have to let it rise, and you have to let it rise twice, you have to bake it too, so it takes some time, but it is so worth it. So let's show you guys how to make it. To make the focaccia, here we have half a kilogram of flour, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of yeast, a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of oregano. Oh, I think this is thyme and this is oregano, but anyways, a teaspoon of thyme and oregano. We're using dried ones. If you have fresh ones, that's better. Some sun-dried tomatoes, some black olive slices, and some rosemary, some olive oil, about 3 tablespoons I'd say, and warm water, just enough for like to make the dough. So in the stand mixer, once again I'm gonna use a stand mixer because I cannot mix it manually, but if you can, then just do it in a large mixing bowl, I think. But we're gonna add in the flour. To the flour we'll add in the salt, thyme and oregano, and olive oil. And now we're just going to gently mix it all at low speed, just to incorporate the ingredients with each other before we add in the yeast. So once everything has incorporated with each other a little bit, now we're going to add in the yeast. And we're going to start slowly adding in the water until we get the desired consistency, which should be a little lighter, a little thinner than bread, so it should be a little bit sticky on the hands. So we've reached the desired consistency, and this is what it should look like. So it sticks to the hands a little, and now we're going to knead it really well for 5 to 7 minutes. So we've kneaded it for about 5 to 7 minutes. I'd say about maybe 6-7 minutes, and this is what it looks like. So now we're going to add to it some olive oil. Now we're just going to grease it from the top. So now that we've coated the surface with some olive oil, now we're just going to cover it with some plastic wrap, and we'll let it rise for about 1 hour. So while it was rising, I've already chopped the sun-dried tomatoes as well as the rosemary, and now here it is. As you see, it rose really well. And we're just going to take the dough off from the bowl, and we're going to remove the air out of it. So as you can see, it is super soft and it gives you a lot to work with. So now we're going to take our pan, and we're just going to grease the pan with some oil. And now we're going to bring our dough and we're going to transfer it to here, and we're just going to spread it to make sure it fits the pan. So I've spread it to the desired thickness. I didn't spread it throughout the pan because otherwise it would have been too thin. And now we're just gonna poke your hands into it. So it turns out you don't use the thumb. Did that by mistake. But yeah, you're going to just poke holes throughout the entire dough. So now we're just going to alternate between adding in the olives and the sun-dried tomatoes, and make sure that you insert them in. So once I've added all the olives and the sun-dried tomato, now we're just going to sprinkle the rosemary on top. And also make sure that it gets in alongside everything else. So once we've added in the rosemary, now we're just going to cover it, and we're going to let it rest for half an hour. So I apologize, the audio got lost or never got recorded in the first place, but basically after 30 minutes, half an hour, you just add olive oil on top of the focaccia as much as you want, and then you just brush it all over the focaccia, and then you're just going to bake it in the oven at 190 degrees Celsius that you've preheated the oven to 190 degrees Celsius. And then you're just gonna bake it at 190 degrees Celsius for 20-25 minutes or until golden brown. So this is what it looks like. It smells so good, and here is everything. It's nice and golden brown. The sun-dried tomatoes are nice and crispy, and I can't wait to try it. It is also super fluffy and soft. So let's try a piece. The flavors are amazing because the bread, it's in itself, the focaccia, the dough in itself doesn't have much flavor, but when you add the rosemary, especially the fact that it's fresh, and then you add to it other herbs, even though dried, but I feel like they have the same effect. And then you add to it sun-dried tomatoes, olives, they offer that little hint of saltiness, which I really love, and it tastes amazing, and I highly recommend making this. So this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and follow me on my social media so you guys can support me to make more content. I'm available on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Discord. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!